So this is my final semester, hopefully, assuming next week goes well, for my DMA in composition. And for my dissertation, I composed a 3-act opera titled Where No Man Pursueth. It's based on a 2021 novel by an East Texas author named Michael E. Jimerson. And the story centers around Jim Crow era East Texas, where a black man named Dock Baxter gets falsely accused of murder, and a young white man named Ray Elliot kind of inserts himself into the situation to try to help get him a trial. But when he talks to Dock and captures him, Dock claims that he's innocent, that he's being framed, and asks for a promise. That promise is, if you can't get me to court, get me to a trial, and protect me from a lynch mob, I want you to kill me yourself. So this first aria is called The Promise. It happens in Act 1. I'll talk a little bit about the other aria in the postlude when we get there, but this is The Promise.
But I am innocent.
and is determined to fulfill this promise to Dock to get him a fair trial. And so he seeks the help of his aunt, and later the town sheriff kind of comes around and decides, no, I need to also uphold the law. And after both characters die being pursued by Klansmen who are targeting Ray and Dock for escaping the law, Ray kind of hits a crisis point, and he realizes that I don't know if Dock's innocent or not, but it doesn't matter. Too many people are dying just so this possibly innocent, possibly not innocent man could get justice. And so Ray decides he can't protect Dock from the mob, and so he fulfills the promise. So a promise made and a promise fulfilled. So this is Ray's reflection aria, Remorse, some undetermined amount of time after he commits the murder of Dock. So this is Remorse. So the story of Ray and Dock encompasses the first two acts. The first act is when Ray makes the promise with Dock, and they leave Nacogdoches to go find support in finding justice. And Act 2 is about meeting other characters to help, and then them being targeted by members of the clan who are active in that area, and the ultimate decision that Ray comes to that this is a promise he can't fulfill. The third act takes place 30 years later during the East Texas oil boom, when a character from the first act, Cecilia, calls Ray for help because the man who accused Dock Baxter, Richard Watersong, was a man who conned her out of some money through the bank that he worked for. And so now this man's back trying to steal Cecilia's land to use it for oil drilling. And so during that court case, the murder of Dock Baxter comes back to life, and it's at least the attempt is to use it as character defamation of Richard. But Richard reveals the truth of what happened. The man that was murdered was not murdered by Dock, but murdered by Richard's mistress, and he covered up for her and lied about Dock. And since Richard didn't commit the murder and the crimes that he did commit, false accusation, embezzlement, obstruction of justice, were all time barred by a statute of limitations. And so he gets to express all of this without any legal ramifications. And so, knowing that there's no real way out of this case, Richard approaches Ray and offers to settle the court case. And Ray's like, no. But Richard claims, I'll pay Cecilia a stipend, and I'll let her live there. No one will bother her because I own the land. I have a reputation. No one's going to mess with her. You just let me drill in the land, and that's it. And so Ray has to make this ultimate decision again. Does he take the law into his own hands and take care of Richard, or does he accept that he's not the law and lets a guilty man walk free so that he can protect the people he loves that are still alive? So it's a complicated ending. It's a complicated story, and this postlude kind of